Hi, my name is Holly Gordon. I'm a recent graduate at Darien High School, and I've been with LEAP for 2.5 years. LEAP has given me the freedom to realize my fears and overcome them in order to unleash my true potential even at a young age. It has challenged me to unite my communities in order to solve our world's issues, and it has taught me to never give up because we are fighting for a cause bigger than ourselves.
So the cool thing about LEAP is you've got 3 points of impact, and you get to do it 3 communities at a time. So it's really a no-brainer. Your first impact is that you're going to train self-aware leaders. You're going to take away the fear of being a confident voice, and you're going to actually allow students to say, I can do this. And the second point is that not only will they do it on their own, but they're going to do it with their partners from disparate communities next door. So when you think of our globe, LEAP unites communities that would otherwise never work together from a very early age. The third point of impact is that these students get to take the skills that they've learned with the partners that they have connected with, and they get to actually design their own program to implement change in their own communities. That's a real education. And right now, when we have these kids doing outreach and leadership programs all around the world, it's more of a handout. It's more of an observer, a take. It's not a true education, and I really believe that we can do better.
I have learned through my experiences with LEAP and Alianza
He aprendido a través de mis experiencias en LEAP y Alianza
that I can stand in front of the group
que puedo ponerme de pie y hablar al frente del grupo
and I have the power to change them. When I first started LEAP, I took the Leap to Lead class, and I remember when anybody called on me, I would get bright red, and I would get completely anxious and overwhelmed and could not really say or deliver anything that I was actually thinking. I think that he definitely got past fear because I'm sure before he was kind of contemplating whether he was going to say his I have a dream speech, and he definitely got over that fear by actually saying it, and it created a huge effect, and like Zoe and you said, that it changed history. During the Leap to Lead class, I decided to start my own group called Leap to Lead Uganda, in which Norwalk, Darien, and Ugandan high school students communicated and collaborated through an online magazine to learn about each other's communities, discuss common issues, and find their solutions.
Tell me about creating the team of trust. What's that involve? How do you do that?
That's the most difficult part.
Yeah.
Is enter. So we, myself and maybe 10 other, white girls from Darien come into an after-school program at Brian McMahon with 30 Brian McMahon students, and our job is to relate the idea that we're not there to help them. We're there to work with them in partnership to impact our world.
Yeah.
And so we took that entire year. So my entire junior year, I went to Brian McMahon every Thursday for an hour, and we did icebreaker activities, we did discussions, we did breakout groups, everything to create that community of trust.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, in the future, all of us kids, students, are going to be forced to work with people we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So why not learn how to do that when you're in middle school or high school?
Mm-hmm.
Why not be brought up with that mentality that we're in collaboration, not separate bubbles?
Mm-hmm.
When I think of collaboration, I think of Holly. Holly has figured out how to build teams from disparate communities all around the globe to empower them to collaborate together, and it's not been easy, and she's never given up. Even when kids would look at her in the face saying, "What the hell are you in my business for?" she didn't give up. It was unbelievable. She's put together communities from next door in Norwalk and Darien. She has built collaboration with students in Uganda, in Nicaragua. She has empowered these students to actually create leaps of their own, to teach the class on their own. And she does it in the most quiet, observing way. I can't even imagine a more powerful leader.
I really enjoyed putting my leadership skills into practice and found myself in Nicaragua that summer.
So you organized this weekend retreat for women?
Yes,
Adult women, you were what, 17, 18 years old at the time?
17.
Wow. So
I was
there you are
turning.
teaching.
I was turning 17 actually. I had my birthday down there.
So
I don't even know if I was 17 yet. I forget.
So there you were
It's true,
teaching.
you'd already taught your peers by 16 years old.
Yes.
Taught your peers, and then you were teaching adults. And what kinds of things were you teaching?
I taught. So I had to pick and choose what I wanted from the 12-unit curriculum. So I taught about failure as opportunity, resilience. I tried to touch on a lot. When I came back from Nicaragua, I decided to create a new group called Leap to Nicaragua. In this group, students from Norwalk, Nicaragua, and Darien held weekly Skype calls. We decided to hold Skype discussions for an hour every Tuesday in order to read a book and discuss about, to learn more about each other's communities, really. So we used the book as a base.
What book?
We read The House on Mango Street. And so we would, for example, we would read a chapter together. We would have the Alianza students be reading it in English to further Alianza's vision of improving English. And we would do maybe an activity or a discussion on some part of that chapter that struck us or that reminded us of something about our family, something about our community. So when I was taking the leadership class, I remember a lot of the quotes we were forced to memorize. So when we think of memorizing in school, we usually think, oh, I just am kind of like I'm not really learning it. But for me, what I found was when I memorized it and when I knew it, a couple hours after I came back and I could reiterate it or say it again to myself in my head, then I really understood it. After taking the class and leading my own peer groups at home, I felt more prepared than ever standing in front of those students and talking.
Holly's trip to Nicaragua actually is everything I could have imagined for LEAP. It's her vision, and I was able to see it through with her. So what that means is that Holly decided she wanted to go to Nicaragua. Nicaragua wanted her to come down and train the Leap to Lead class. And what happened is that we all learned what we were capable of while we were there. So it wasn't just about us teaching a Leap to Lead class. It became a complete language immersion. And we realized that the same students who thought that they were already so advanced at English, and they were, becoming translators and learning poetry and dissecting stories around their own personalities and sharing their confidence and their fears, we all learned about ourselves in our mutual languages in ways we never would have before. So it was quite powerful, and it was her vision, and I'm so glad I got to be a part of the ride.
At that moment where you feel so upset you don't know what to do with yourself,
En ese momento que tú te sentís tan molesto que no sabes qué esperar de ti o de otros.
when you take a step back and don't blame others,
Cuando tú tomas un paso hacia atrás y no culpas a los otros,
and I was able to realize that that facts are facts, and this moment isn't as traumatic as you thought it was.
de tal forma de que te das cuenta de algo, que los hechos son hechos y que no era tan traumático como tú pensabas que era.
That is the moment that defines a leader.
Ese es un momento que define al líder. Y eso es todo.
As a teacher, there is nothing more rewarding than watching students overcome their fears of being powerful, important, confident leaders. And there are 2 students right now who have each gone in their own directions, one in Uganda and one here in Darien. And yet in the very beginning of LEAP they were connected. So Steve Cannon and Holly started their LEAPs together. Now they've each become leaders in their communities where they've developed their own LEAPs and they've taught the class, and they have actually seen how important it is that they have the courage to stand up and be their best selves, because they actually inspire other people. And I had this remarkable opportunity to see the 2 of them on Skype, not having realized that they had each empowered each other to go off in different directions and then come back and share their story.
I was going to message you on Facebook or something to see if you wanted to Skype, because I've been hearing so much about you and wanted to just learn more about what you guys are doing.
Sure. So you can see me now?
Yeah. Meeting Steve Cannon, I realized how much impact one person could have. The fact that my one idea created all of this, even at some points without my knowing, was unbelievable. And is a true testament to the power of LEAP and the power that LEAP gives to an individual. What did you learn from teaching the class?
In life, it's not all about how many times you've fallen down, but it's how many times you can get up when you've fallen down. So to lead Uganda really broadens people's minds about that, and they get to know that, oh, there is still hope. Besides this problem that I've been facing, people use different ideas that they've heard from different people, you see, to use them in their life to really come up with the right things and the right procedures in life for them to really come up.